Hello everyone, and welcome to Divine Debut 11. This is Kathy speaking, and it is the 11th of the 11th, and we are beginning this messenger reading. This is Greek time, of course. Just waiting on the okay, there we go. Let's begin. The portal is open. The veil is open. Today, the 11th of the 11th at 11:11 a.m. This is Greek time, so maybe Google your time. This is when the reading is being done, hopefully with this open portal and the veil being thinner. Spirit will guide us even better. You can always do your own little ceremony, invocation, meditation, at 11:11 your time. I'll be doing that at 11:11 p.m. today on the 11th of the 11th. So let's see what's coming through. What is the Karma Dharma? Remember, this is a general reading. We read for the general public as we read the messages. And that's where our name, Divine Debut 11, that's why we've got number 11 there, because back in 2011, this was the beginning of my awakening. 11:11 was everywhere. It was driving me nuts. Let's see what's going on. Energetically speaking, what is the Karma Dharma around about now? And if you're here, there should be an important message for you. And we've got the Lovers. So it looks like the twin flames, relationships, soulmates, even karmic connections are activated at this time. I felt it a few days ago, maybe 2-3 days ago, and I've uploaded because we've got another channel, a Greek channel, which is called Mysteries of Gaia, but we speak Greek there. Now it's either I've uploaded it here, the activation of the twin flames, of the most important relationships that come to change our lives, are activated. Okay, so let's see what's going on. Gemini comes through, of course. Gemini is a mutable sign, mutable air sign. It's got a lot to do with our perception, the way we think, the way we communicate. Just be careful these days, because we've got Mercury now retrograde. Mercury rules Gemini. Mercury and Mars are both in Sagittarius, but Mercury retrograde is and has been traveling with Mars. So be careful what you blurt out, what you, those cutting words, which could be like knives, some truths or your opinion or your beliefs. Maybe, I suppose, what is fated. Sometimes our, truths can bring the change, even though it could be challenging, because Mars and Mercury, that's, anger, being angry and saying it, not holding back on our truth, or this is the way maybe we're seeing things from our point of view. Maybe the other person has got another truth, and that's where the friction can be happening. And Mercury now retrograding is bringing back themes relative to the past. Okay, so if you're a mutable sign, because Mercury is retrograde now in Sagittarius and we'll go back to Scorpio, I do feel that a lot of truths will be coming out through friction, through anger, through expansion, through exploration, right? That's what Sagittarius is all about. Mercury is in a weak position, so communication, of course, with a retrograde Mercury could be difficult, could be misleading, could be confusing. But I feel that once Mercury enters Scorpio, goes back to Scorpio, because we're heading up to a new moon in Scorpio at 28-29 degrees, the anaretic degree, right? And on that new moon in Scorpio, we've got Uranus opposite. So expect shocks, revelations, truth bombing, truth bombs after the 20th, because Mercury is right on that new moon and in opposition to Uranus. So let's leave the astrology and let's go into the energies and what is coming through. Thank you for your guidance, dear Spirit. What is going on? Remember that the lovers could be a twin flame connection, but could also be a, head over heart decision, dilemma, adjustment. Let's see what's coming through. And 1111. And I do feel that this portal, for many of us, has probably opened since the 8th. I feel that from the 8th until the 11th. And then even, I'm going to say the 12th, because 12 comes after 11. So 1111 is the opening, the portal. 12 is the transition, the moving away from that portal. So the next step will be very revealing. Let's see what's going on. And as I said, we're reading the energies. Okay, we've got a King of Pentacles, Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. This could be relative to, and it doesn't have to be only a love reading here. We don't only look at love, because the lovers is not only a love connection. It could be, we could have, for me, twin flames could also be on a friendship level, okay? Relational level. So take it as it resonates for you, and whatever you're here for, then your understanding and your personal journey is important for you. Okay, so take what resonates and leave the rest. So we've got, this could be anything to do with partnerships as well, business partnerships, because the King of Pentacles, usually Taurus is more about our securities, our resources, right? And we're in between a Taurus full moon on the 5th and heading towards 5th of November, and then heading towards that new moon in Scorpio. So it speaks to securities, right? Taurus, Scorpio. It's our money. It's money that come through from third parties, shared resources, any themes of self-worth and values, sexuality, intimacy, physical, emotional. And it's going to be an emotional roller coaster moving forward. And we know that King of Pentacles needs security. Taurus is about stability, security, and being certain. We're talking about earth, fixed earth, right? So a lot is interconnected. Love, money could also be interconnected, but also self-worth and values, right? What is the challenge relative to the King of Pentacles? Because we know he's the most experienced king of all. He's stable, he's long-term, he's committed, but he could also be a boss, a father. He could also be someone who's very slow to mature. So it's taken a while. What is the challenge here? Wow. So for me, a lot needs to be revealed. I mean, we're talking about Venus here. If this is Taurus, we've got Taurus, Libra. Libra is relationships. Taurus is values, self-worth, love, those five senses, abundance, right? The challenge is the expansion, because the Empress is a 3. And the Empress talks about patience as well. So we could say, because the Empress, of course, is about, that seed having been planted, it takes time. So the challenge is patience, needing to be patient, but also it could be involving third parties, because the Empress, yes, could be a wife, a spouse, a mother, right? Could be a mother, could be a mother-in-law. The challenge is love here. The challenge is the love of a mother. So that's the highest love of all, a mother's love for her child, or giving the unconditional love that a mother gives to a child to a connection, trusting, nurturing, and creating. Someone understanding here, excuse me, that there is love here, that there is manifestation, there's expansion, there's growth, but through patience, through stable, slow steps. And it could be that and some person or a situation, the patience, could be what is blocking this growth, this stability, because King of Pentacles does speak to stability long term and manifestation, right? Abundance. Look at what he's, what he's clothed in. He's got everything that he desires, he needs. The challenge is growth. The challenge is a third party. The challenge is patience. The challenge is a dilemma, a choice, because the lovers are always a choice as well. Let's see. We've got a Page of Cups here, an offer, a communication, an unexpected, communication that could bring an opportunity here. This could possibly be as well. To me, I don't know why I get child's play. Someone's being childish, someone's playing, someone needs to mature, something needs to mature. Now, this could also be an apology, possibly. Pisces obviously comes through with a Page of Cups. This could also be a particular child, which could be a third situation, the third wheel here. Remember, we're talking about mother, father, family, possibly here. What is the root? The World card. The World card, of course, is a major life cycle that's coming to a completion point. There's going to be a birthing here. Now, we know, astrologically speaking, that we are talking about endings. I mean, Taurus full moon. Something has filled out. There's a creation. There's the ability to create here. Something long term. Something of great value. But we're needing to make the adjustments, make choices. Get off our throne a little bit. Get off. Because the Empress in the challenge position, she's usually stingy, right? She's reversed here. She's not giving that loving, that nurturing. She's not providing that security. She's could be self-centered, could be taking care of her own needs at this time. If she's a mother, this could be a mother and a father. This could be a couple, right? Where the Empress, being in the challenge position, is holding back on nurturing, loving, and giving and birthing. Generally speaking, as an energy, there's a birth here, but there's a challenge relative to this birth and this creation. And this is what the seed is all about, because we also see the ability to birth something. We see a cycle that ends. We see Venus here. And Venus is relationships. Venus is peace, harmony. Venus is values. Venus is pleasures. And this is materialism. This is materialistic pleasures. I don't know if, as I said, money, love, self-worth, values, even a lack of self-worth could be coming through here. Someone not knowing their ability to manifest. Someone not knowing their value. Something needs to complete, and that is the seed. This is a life cycle. This could be the seed that's been planted that is ready to be birthed, which will bring possible success, but there are still some themes, some last adjustments that need to happen. Remember, full moon in Taurus, heading up to a birthing in Scorpio, a new moon in Scorpio, which speaks to a death process, and then a birthing, right? So to me, it's like saying, I'm letting go, I'm releasing anything that was not of value, anything that did not give me a sense of security and self-worth, whether it's a relationship, a job, a family situation, a union of whatever union this is, right? And because from the 20th of October, when Mercury entered his shadow zone, so he got to the 20th degree roughly of Scorpio, and then came up to the 6th degree roughly of Sagittarius, right? And he's turned retrograde only yesterday, 9th, 10th of November, right? So He's going back. He's heading back to Scorpio, and he's been connecting with Mars, right? So it's all about taking action. It's all about communicating. It's all about our logical thinking, our inability possibly to make a choice, to decipher, because there's miscommunication. There are themes that are returning from the past that we need to look into. Yep, stuck energies, Seven of Pentacles, investments. I've invested myself. I've given a lot, right? And we've got very strong fixed energies here, because the World card is the fixed signs. And of course, we've got the lunations in fixed Taurus and Scorpio. So Spirit is like saying, because we do have some Pisces and Gemini here, be more flexible. Let's get out of those fixed energies, out of that fixed opinion, right? Because Uranus has stepped back to Taurus and is bringing change to anything that we've been stuck with. I do feel that Uranus will be the shock, the release, the revolution moving forward, which is going to bring change. What is the possible outcome? Yep, we've got the portal here. It's about making a choice. And I feel that this is not going to be an easy choice. If you're having trouble, someone's having trouble making that choice, possibly the choice will be made for them. The smart thing to do, the logical thing to do, is to listen to the heart and not get stuck in what your head is telling you, right? Let's take a few more messages. Yep, we've got Jupiter here. We've got the Wheel of Fate turning. This is some sort of a completion point. It is a 10, which turns into an ace. Fated events are playing out here. And Jupiter is in the sign of Cancer. And Cancer is the mother. Cancer is that nurturing and that loving, a connection, a partnership, a job, and entrepreneurship, whatever you're creating yourself, which you're finding very hard, even financially. Things haven't been easy, but things are going to change. It is fated. Remember that we've also got an amazing water trine that we're experiencing. So Jupiter in Cancer connecting well to Scorpio and well to Pisces, right, to the planets there. So Jupiter brings expansion, brings truth, and brings justice, right? Giving us the opportunity to possibly see the bigger picture. I don't know if some of you are dealing with a foreigner, someone who could be far from you, someone who comes from different beliefs, right? And Jupiter is in Cancer, which is a very strong position that is in really good connection to Saturn. Saturn being the limitation, the restriction. Jupiter is more about freedom and truth. With Cancer is cardinal water. So a lot of emotions, a lot of initiation, new beginnings possibly here, and fated events and changes. Okay, someone needed to go into their cave, needed to look at the details. Virgo is perfectionism. Someone seeking advice, seeking guidance from a guru, a teacher, a professional. Okay, with the Hermit here, someone's gone within. They've been going through their awakening. Wow. Okay, so we've got the Star here. This was a wish fulfillment, but maybe there were things that needed to be learned, taught. We needed to become wiser with some situations here. Some of you may have been connecting through social media and the internet with the Star, and the Star is a promise of some truths or some hope relative to the future. Yes, so many majors here, very strong reading indeed. There is lots of promise. It could be pointing to 2026, when there's going to be an alignment in the Aquarius Pisces season. Very significant time for the completion point of whatever's going on here, the change of season, let's say. So we're in a moment of pause, and we have been. Yeah, even spirit. You know, Archangel Michael, the protector of our universe. Temperance, saying that healing is happening. Temper yourself. Take your time. Don't rush. There's no need to rush. There's an alchemy going on. We are coming into serenity, into balance, right? Lots of water and earth with this grand water trine through water. And we've all got the water signs in our chart. This is also behooving the earth sign. So water and earth makes mud, something stable that we can build on. Okay, but also we've had a taste of, you know, the outer planets, Pluto in Aquarius, Uranus in Gemini, that's gone back to Taurus now, Saturn and Neptune in Aries. Air and fire is all about taking action, moving forward. The early degrees speak to a new beginning, but we've got themes relative to the past that need taking care of, that need nurturing, that need looking at. We've got second chances. We've got so many retrogrades now. We're going to revisit an old situation, re-look at it, re-nurture it. We're given a second opportunity to either release and become free of it, or release the negativity, the poison, Scorpio, right? That could be turned into healing. And there's an alchemy going on. Give it some time. That's what temperance is saying. And again, it can speak to foreigners' beliefs. Yep. Knight of Wands, someone that was not ready to settle, someone that is on the go, someone that's chasing their desires, someone that could be driven by their beliefs, the beliefs that they hold from their past. This is what they grew up to believe. This is what they always desired. Remember, the Knight of Wands is not someone that is stable. He's always coming and going. It's not a point of stability. And the Knight of Wands also seeks freedom. Let's take one more here. We've got the Queen of Cups. Now, I'm going to say, because we've got a masculine feminine, and we see an experience or an age difference, a maturity difference, where we've got the feminine that's more progressed. Queen of Cups, emotionally, she knows what she wants. She's very psychic. She's very intuitive. To me, she looks at the Ace of Cups like her crystal ball. She can see everything through that cup. And that cup is her heart. So her heart is what is her driving force. But here we've got a divine masculine that's more about the inspiration, the creativity, the passion, the desire. So we've got someone that's very free-spirited. Queen of Cups, she's the motherly energy, the motherly nurturing, patient, right? And sacrificing Queen of Cups. Let's see what's coming through with the Wheel of Fortune. I want to take one more on that. That's what Spirit is guiding me to. We've got a Four of Wands, so we've got 11 and 11 here. So to me, the 11 here is the opportunity. It's like the 11, right? Which we're on right now. But it's taking us back to a second chance at making a decision, the rightful decision. Maybe there have been mistakes in the past, errors made. It's all about learning. It's all about the soul's journey, right? We're human. We make mistakes. We have to learn forgiveness. We have to learn to be able to apologize if we've done wrong. And what's the word I'm looking for? Integrate the lessons, and through that we become the Empress, right? We've got a King of Pentacles and an Empress here, even though she's in the challenge. To me, what this is saying, because she's the major arcana of the Queen of Pentacles, so we're talking about a couple here. We're talking about two people that are on the same page. But the Empress being in the challenge position, it is like saying, Spirit is like saying, okay, the feminine needs to step down a little bit, and the masculine needs to step up a little bit. So it will be different for each of you. Okay. Yeah. What is the Page of Cups? Oh, okay. There are fears about this offer. There's a fear of apologizing. Someone is fearing being knocked back, unaccepting, being unaccepting of an apology, of a meeting, of a even, receiving a message. I don't know if some of you have gone through a situation where there's no contact, you've blocked someone, you've turned your back. I mean, we even see the Queen of Cups here having turned her back to this Knight of Wands that is possibly on the road to creation, right? Is holding the Ace of Wands. We see that in the outcome as well. So even if this is a partnership, right? And again, we've got the masculine needing to mature a little bit. Queen of Cups, the feminine, the stronger energy. She's already there. And there could be some sort of a surprise because, okay, she's turned her back. She doesn't know that the masculine archetype, whoever holds the yang energy that is taking action and has been. We may have some revelations coming up to this new moon in Scorpio, even around that new moon, so around the 20th of November. Okay. Unfortunately, I forgot to mention that I have got a special of 50% off for a yearly tarot reading, which goes for 90 minutes for 2026. This special has begun from the 8th of November and finishes today on the 11th of the 11th. So if you're interested, then do email us at divinedebut11@gmail.com for the discounted link. So you've got to be quick because that special finishes today. As we're coming up to Christmas, I thought I would give you an opportunity to get in first and know what's coming in for you in 2026. The moon, of course, brings out the energy of Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio is significant as well. Pay attention to your dreams. The moon speaks to possible deception, a fear of being emotionally open, possibly also wounds that someone's carrying from their past, could be connected to their mother that was never very motherly, or someone didn't fit the bill relative to the motherly values that someone held. This could also speak to, yes, those wounds relative to the past, someone's childhood, that someone is needing to clear out, because Scorpio and new moon in Scorpio, remember, it speaks to the psyche, those wounds that we hold deep within our soul that maybe have been triggered and need to be released, looked at, not fearing looking at them and working with them. A fear of deception, a fear of acceptance. And we've got the Three of Cups. There could be third parties, but there could also be revelations and a lot of things coming through relative to third parties, but also talk of, and I would say this is very unexpected, of connection, of a meeting, of a reconciliation. Again, it's involving third parties. I mean, the Three of Cups, to me, it could be friendships, could be siblings, could be people that you affiliate with, right? Whichever way. Let's take one on the moon. Yeah, there will be clearing out of the cobwebs, of the unknown, because the Page of Swords is Gemini again, which is all about perception, communication, curiosity. When we don't know, we ask, right? We don't, stand back and just sort of wonder. The best thing to do is to communicate, to ask and learn, because Gemini learns through curiosity, through asking the questions like a child does, right? Children ask the funniest questions, right? Let's put play into the energy. Let's put a little bit of trust, and let's put curiosity in as well. Let's communicate. Let's not sit in our fears and our, sit around our demons and not be able to clear the air relative to an emotional situation, because it's all about water, and water is emotions. Water is flowing, and water is also confusion many times. Let's see what the outcome is. The Eight of Swords. See, these are negative thoughts, negative thinking. Five of Pentacles. The way you're thinking, the way you're perceiving things could be the way the other person is as well, right? Because the Five of Pentacles, we see both parties out in the cold. They can find solace within each other, but possibly also big differences between you and another person. It's like it's like needing to bridge a gap, and that gap is getting bigger when there's no communication, when we're making up stories in our mind that may not be true at all. Financial differences as well could be coming through, and again, belief systems. Let's see, can we surpass these challenges, these dilemmas? We've got the Ace of Swords. Yes, this is the opportune moment. This is a card of victory and cutting through the veil, cutting through the clouds, cutting through the deception, the illusion, and even surgically removing any wounds, let's say. And it's got a lot to do with the way we think and the way we communicate, dear friends. Yeah. What's at the bottom here? And we've got the Strength. Yeah, it takes a lot of courage. It's going to take courage, guts, and Leo is the heart. Remember what I said? Don't let your mind steer you, but more so your heart. Some of you may have been very patient. Some of you are maybe trying to tame that wild beast from within, whether it's you or your person. Remember, this is a number 8. It's the infinity symbol, and the divine feminine, the yin energy, which is more about the heart, the motherly, nurturing energy. And Leo is about matters of heart, generosity, truth, even risk-taking, getting out there, dating, creating, putting in some play, flirtation. All these energies come through for me with the Strength card here. Someone needs to overcome their fears and know that through taking action, even though, Leo could be a little bit fixated as well, because Leo will be and is being squared, is being put under great pressure with the full moon in Taurus, new moon in Scorpio, to make the changes, to come out of the darkness and into the light, get up on stage and say, this is what I want to create. This is what I truly feel within my heart. It takes a lot of strength to trust when there's been, when you've got a gap, a relationship that's been broken. To bridge that gap, you need to come clean. You need to be truthful. You need to know that you can create the situation to bring healing, because Leo is all about healing. There's the Queen of Pentacles, and what this is telling me is that in the divine feminine, I do feel that there is some, it's the divine feminine. Okay, she's matured, but remember, we've got a lot of those energies coming through, that the divine feminine feels as though she's done the work. She's possibly also overgiven, over-trusted, and therefore she's like the queen of the empress in the challenge position, is like she's becoming stingy. She's taken a step back, turned her back, right? Maybe Spirit is saying, and that's the lesson here, that it's going to take courage for the feminine, because we've got the Queen of Pentacles here, to go take back a few steps, take a few steps back, come down to the same level as the King of Pentacles, and not ride high on her horse that, you know, I'm the Empress and I will not accept anything less than an emperor, because, as I said, there's more maturity, therefore there's the ability and the intelligence from the feminine to take a step back and meet her masculine or the other on the same level. So I feel that those opportunities with the retrogrades will take the divine feminine back to the position of the Queen of Pentacles, right? So, and therefore give a chance to the yang energy, which is all about taking action, whether it's a situation or a person. Give them a chance to breathe, give them a chance to prove themselves, give them a chance to mature a step up to the emperor position, because the Empress in the challenge is like she's not there fully, because the yin energy, the feminine, whoever holds the feminine, could have made a mistake that she's already there, that she can overcome anything, that she is the mother of all. She is fully and 100% balanced in her own skin, financially, emotionally, that she doesn't carry any wounds because she's done the work. She's the major arcana. So there's a sense of fakeness or misunderstanding relative to the soul. I feel that the feminine holds at this time. And that could be where the work needs to be done. Both yin and yang, both feminine and masculine, have got some work to do still. And we've got until early next year. But themes will be playing out until we have the new story next year. Not to say that we'll wait till next year, because the work is being done, right? As we head to that time. What is the Queen of Pentacles sitting on? See, she's become stingy with that nurturing, with that motherly love, with that offering of the Queen of the Ace of Pentacles, which is the security, the stability, the job, the relationship, the home, the new beginning, whatever that is. She's like protecting herself. Or she's been waiting on this offer. She's been very patient, and maybe she's rushed to think that she's the Empress, that, okay, you're not going to be my emperor. I'm heading forward. I'm moving forward. I'm closing the door. But as I said, I do feel that there's work that needs to be done for both parties. Okay, let's take a couple more cards and get a little bit more information here. 1111, what is this portal, this doorway, this gateway bringing in? Because we see that there are still dilemmas, there are still choices, there's still negative thinking, there's still a feeling of a lack of reciprocity. 5 of Pentacles, they're heading towards the 6, but things need to go through a surgical process, cutting away the poison. There's the poison. There's the Scorpio new moon that we're heading towards. Third parties, fears, anxiety. This is moon in Cancer. Desires, matters of seduction, cravings, deception, sexuality, forbidden knowledge. It's all blocked. It is all blocked, and there is possible deception, but some of us need to expand our horizons, close something of the past so that this blockage, this limitation can come down, right? And the limitations, we could be putting up our own blocks, right? Sometimes we've got the bear. There's the motherly energy. Someone needs to be courageous, right? The bear, Mars in Aries. Are you the warrior? Okay. We could also be talking about people that sit in powerful positions, literally and metaphorically. Yep, there is timing. The clock is ticking away. Someone needs to mature. Someone needs to protect their cubs. Someone needs to protect, or someone is protecting their own best interests, right? Someone could also be protecting themselves, protecting their fears, not being open emotionally, to clear, to heal those psychological wounds that they carry, possibly from a stern, strict father, mother, from their childhood. They needed time to mature. This is Kronos, this is Saturn. But you know what? Saturn is connecting well with Jupiter. Saturn from Pisces, at the last degrees of Pisces, the story is ending. A cycle is coming to a halt, to an ending. These are the second opportunities, the last few, what can I say, weeks. It's your choice. What are you going to release to open the new? Because here are the opportunities. Here is the 2, right? The 1111 is 22 here. So we go from 1111 to 22. That's the next master number, right? 1111, when you double it, of course, it's 22, another master number. And it's the Queen of Pentacles. I'm going to say that the choice is in the divine feminine. What she decides will be the outcome. She holds the strongest power here. So, and remember that even, men, they do have that feminine side to them. So take what resonates. And with all this water in the air, with all this water, it is about connecting to our emotions, which is our yin energy. And wow, there's going to be so much that will be revealed. So much that was hidden. So much that can be healed, that we can release with the grand water trine, through our emotions, through emotional communication, depth and release. The well here holds a lot of secrets. Trust your intuition. There will be such strong intuition and messages coming through. There's the divine masculine. Whoever holds that energy, Mars, he holds Mars. He doesn't fret, he doesn't fear, he chases his desires, right? And okay, there could be some anger as well, emotional release, overcoming fears. And there's the divine union. Here is Mother Mary energies. This is Chiron. This is Chiron in Virgo. This is sexuality, virtues, wisdom, and morality. To me, this is like the Empress, right? So we've got possibly also here that the feminine is bringing an awakening to the masculine as well. That the connection here cannot be only physical, sexual. It needs to be an ethical relationship, a relationship that's based on morality and the divine. It's a spiritual connection, but there are also those themes relative to sexuality, creation, possibly also someone pushing your buttons. And I see the divine masculine that's going to push the buttons of the feminine. She needs to come through as more spiritually, more trusting in the divine, that this relationship is not only a physical, there's a deep connection which goes the root, which is rooted in possibly also past lifetimes. But there's a lot of secrecy around it, a lot of mysteries. So hopefully this new moon in Scorpio will bring the reality, will clear the fears, the doubts, and the mysteries. A lot will be revealed. There's tact, there's secrecy, but remember that sometimes the tables do turn. and mysteries can be revealed. There have been lots of mysteries and lots of secrets, because this is like the Seven of Swords. You remember the Seven of Swords is about doing, the thief getting caught because they're doing something in broad daylight. Maybe the time has come for someone to be revealed, things to be revealed. What is the fox sitting on? There are the messages, there are the cobwebs, there are the clouds, here comes the sun. Wonderful. Not everyone will have the revelations at the same time. Let's see emotionally what could be playing out now. I would say also, let's look at the 12th of the 12th. Possibly for some of you on the 12th of December, because that's the transition from the 11 to the 12. Mark that on your calendar relative to clarity and the transition, the movement. Emotionally, there's solitude, there's quiet, there's the divine feminine maybe having turned her back, just like we see here. And there are regrets coming from the divine masculine. Okay, as I said, this is not only a love reading, it could be relative to the yin and the yang energy, right? So the yin energy is all about nurturing, creating. The yang energy, there are regrets about not moving forward, possibly. Or there is a possibility as well that the yin, the feminine, is regretting not taking action for some. And fall is about, and we're in the fall season, logically, in the Northern Hemisphere, or it could speak to someone in hibernation. To me, this also speaks to Christmas. So as a timing card, these are the energies that are coming through. Big dreams, lots of revelations about a vision, possibly having the opportunity to be created, but that's through someone seeing the light, going within. Remember, the Hermit is about going within. And remember, retrogrades is about doing the inner work before the outer situations can change. Divine feminine, receiving messages. Possibly that her wishes, her dreams maybe have got the opportunity to be manifested after having done the inner work. And there's free will. So again, the choice is always ours. But remember, there will be help, there will be nudges coming from spirit. But the thing is, because yang is about taking the action, and we've all got yang energy, it's all about free will. It's like spirit saying, it's up to you what you're going to do. Whether you're going to release after having revisited a situation and know that you are free to act and do whatever it is that your heart tells you, not your head, right? Logic is thrown out the window at this time. It's about emotions. It's about heart. It's about feelings. And again, the Aquarius season comes through. On another level, someone to be able to create this big dream needs to be free from something that they've been carrying that's been poisoning a situation and keeping them in a prison, right? Right now, maybe there's quiet. Maybe we need to go within. It's a really good time to meditate at this time, my dear friends. Let's see, relative to relationships now, let's look at the message of love. Messages of love. I'm going to take a couple. Unsatisfied. I wasn't happy with the way things were going. Responsibilities. I have to take care of my financial and emotional needs. We do see a family situation here. And reveal. I want to tell you the truth. Exactly. Thank you so much, Spirit. So a lot of truth bombing will be happening. Expect lots of revelations. What are the blockages here? I mean, where relationships are concerned, possibly if there are third parties, someone wasn't happy with the way things were going within a family unit, right? Family could also may have been the blockage here. Someone holding lots of secrets about the dissatisfaction of where they were, right? Let's look at the blockages, because yes, we will have revelations. Yes, there will be lots of truths. But what are the blockages here? Which speak to fears. Being guarded. You are lonely because you're so aloof. Trust others and let them into your heart. Wow. Too much. You tell others too much about yourself all at once. Sit back and listen more. That could be for some of you, but that could also be a reverse message that someone is not being open enough, right? Maybe they've been too open in the past, and therefore that was something that they decided they would never do again, so they're being guarded and changing them. Trying to change someone never works. Accept them as they are or move on. Yep. That is, obviously it's very true that we can never change others. We can only change ourselves. Dear friends, let's take some dice and let's see. I want to see days, okay? Possibly when there can be revelations. Look at the number as a date, a number of a day, or the number of days. How many days? 12. Yeah, 12 is coming through tomorrow or in 12 days. We've got a 7 as well, 7 days, or the 7th possibly of December. There's 11. So today, some of you may have revelations today, or on the 11th or 12th and 7th, 11th and 12th of December. Last one, 12 comes through again, so 12 is very significant. And to me, that's another message saying that we're leaving the portal of 1111, transitioning to the 12, which adds up to a 3, which is the Empress. It speaks to manifestation. Let's look at the most important signs. Libra relationships, right? Pisces. Libra relationships. Cardinal air, right? Libra, third time. What can I say? Justice. Taurus, Venus comes through very strongly. And Scorpio. Okay, they're the main signs. Let's look at the planets and the deities. What's playing out? We've got, this is Venus. Venus comes through very strongly. Matters of love, matters of security, financial. We've got the moon. The moon, maybe possibly when the moon is going to be connecting with Venus, and Venus has ingressed into Scorpio now. So obviously as we're coming up to the new moon, that could be a significant time. So check out the moon, transition of the moon as the moon is transiting through and coming up to that new moon in Scorpio. Lots of themes relative to Venus will be coming up. We've also got this is the North Node, and the North Node is in that grand water trine, and it is in Pisces. So the collective and the personal future destiny is coming through. Mars, we had Venus, we've got Mars. The lovers are triggered. And we've got the South Node. Wow, releasing, that's it, releasing the past in Virgo, South Node, and moving towards our future, North Node in Pisces. And that grand water trine in really good connection to obviously the new moon in Scorpio, the Saturn, North Node, and Neptune in Pisces, and Jupiter in Cancer. That will bring destiny. So it will help us to release the unwanted South Node and move towards the North Node, move towards our destiny. So this is what 1111 messages are bringing us, my dear friends. I think we'll leave it there. Thank you so much for your love, your loyalty, for liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, It really does help the channel a lot. We will be back tomorrow with the Twin Flame Soulmate Connection reading, and patrons, 4 more, the cardinal signs will be done today. This is for patrons, of course, and after the 20th, so after that new moon in Scorpio, they will be released to the public. Thank you for your love, dear patrons, and your support always. Love you all, and don't forget to send your wishes out to Spirit today. It's it will be a very eventful day. Hopefully things will go well, but we're entering, that portal right now. Trust your heart as you're doing that. Talk to you tomorrow.